take care of this.
He is going to do something terrible to my family.
I can't just hide.
Do not give up hope, my son.
Luthor is going to send his monster. We are not safe here.
Well, this Monday morning was an interesting spot of the day for revelations of real-life villains. Yeah, thanks a lot, Candace. But now let's go over the fictional villains, particularly Lex Luthor. I think Milton Fine might have been mentioned in here as the go-to person. Is that the Tom Cavanaugh character? I have no idea. We still have Amanda McCoy. Gretchen is nowhere to be seen. Neither is Otis. Good. They were useless last episode. So was this episode on the same cringe level as the wedding of Christine Beppo and Kyle Richards? No. It was better, but it wasn't much better. It was a better episode, but Luthor shrugged. The first two episodes, I said, "Oh my God!" I think they spent all their goodwill on those first two episodes. The showrunners. Oh my God! If I do a retro cookie, it's gonna be on the beginnings, or maybe it'll be like the domino effect. From Star Trek: The Next Generation all the way to now, right? We'll just I feel like, what can I classify as retro? I guess anything that's at the least a presidential term old, like 2020 and before, right? Some people will argue against that, but it's like 2020 feels like a long time ago. So Elizabeth is back. At some point, we all knew that Elizabeth had to come back. Now, in the comic books, it was Lena Luthor. Lena was the sister of Lex Luthor, but in the year 1997, actually, Lena Luthor was the daughter of Lex Luthor, who was trying to redeem himself. He was trying to have so Erica Del Portenza was the Contessa in the she was the Contessa in the comic book. She had short black hair. Here, she kind of does look like the Contessa from the comic books, but not as in the comic book. She was just as crooked as Lex Luthor. She was just as evil and wicked. But at some point, they killed her off because she didn't really serve much of a purpose. Really, she was a means to an end, and I think Jeff Loeb wanted to get rid of her too. It's like Jeff Loeb took over after Dan Jurgens way back when and was trying to clean house a bit. That was the 2000s, and now we're at a point where it's there's absolute Superman who comes to Krypton as an adult. There's new universe things that are happening after Darkseid. I don't know what's going on in the comic books, but I do know in this one, you got Jordan, who's not really much of a drama queen for tonight's episode. However, John has got a problem with his girlfriend coming back. His girlfriend comes back. His girlfriend had been MIA for most of season 3, I think, and comes back in season 4 without knowing what's going on. So for some strange reason, Jordan tells her everything. And I thought maybe he would have a clever way of, I don't know. I think I would have preferred a scene in which Jordan tells John's girlfriend everything and to see how that would have been her reaction. But it was just cut and dry. Oh, I love you now. Everything's great. Okay, that's it. Elizabeth has a baby, so it's not that simple as her coming back. She's pregnant 6 months with her ex-husband, I guess, whatever, and she's gonna have a son. So Lex is gonna become a grandson, and they were trying to protect her, but now they can't. Sam Lane can't protect her anymore. Now the two sons have powers. They could have ran away to the Fortress of Solitude, but there's nothing that I think a lot of us will argue, why didn't they just go to the Fortress of Solitude to begin with? And they didn't do that. They decided to stay. By staying in that farmhouse, they are walking targets. Lex has not demonstrated at all. At all. At least the Michael Rosenbaum Lex has demonstrated, and even Gene Hackman Lex, Kevin Spacey Lex. This Lex Luthor has not gone to the Fortress of Solitude. For all his brutal ways, he has not been able to go to the Fortress of Solitude. Now, I'm sure a writer could write a way for Lex to get there. But they could just go to the Fortress of Solitude, and Lex can't get there. Yeah. So, I mean, he knows Clark is Superman. There is a confrontation in the like first 10, 15 minutes of the episode, but it doesn't go anywhere. Superman stands in front of Lex's truck. They have a conversation. Just be a good dad, you know? Just be a good dad, Lex. Just forget the whole thing. Be a good dad. Like that's all he's basically saying to him. And then finally the two meet. Clark gets in the way, tries to tell, oh, Elizabeth, just go back and talk to Lex. I'm sure all is forgiven. And you know, the audience, the showrunners, the writers try to play and I say, oh, well, maybe Lex can do this. So basically, it's up to Lex Luthor to not pursue this anymore and just take Elizabeth, go to England and just be a good grandfather and father. Well, that won't happen because he tells Elizabeth, go fuck yourself. Yeah, he really did. He could just say fuck on TV. And he just walks away. He's angry, right? But meanwhile, he's got the Doomsday monster. Doomsday's out there somewhere, right? So Lois uses the button, kind of looks like the ultimate nullifier from Galactus, when the Fantastic Four used the ultimate nullifier to destroy Galactus. And so she confronts Doomsday. Jonathan has to be there because she's stupid. Lois really is not that smart, because there was a good chance that Doomsday would have killed her. Now, keep in mind that the Bizarro Superman's been Bizarro and Superman's been Doomsday, the evil Superman, okay? They try to figure out brilliant ways for this to happen. I guess. But here's the thing, too. Like, when he was Superman of the Bizarro Cube world, that Superman was not a nice guy. Now, she's trying to argue, look, you were Superman, you had Lois, you had a family. But that Superman was a piece of shit. It's like if Superman was like Joe Biden, and you have Melania Trump trying to talk Joe Biden down. It's like, no, you have a beautiful wife. It's like, oh my God. If you think of Melania Trump talking Joe Biden off that ledge, don't kill anybody. You know, Joe Biden turned into a giant Frankenstein, right? It's like, oh God, I don't think anybody would want to see that. So nobody wanted to see Lois try to talk Doomsday off of killing people. So Doomsday decides he's going to do his own shit and not work for Lex. Maybe this is where Brainiac comes in. I don't know. But Doomsday's gone. So she went to the wrong heart, I guess. It's all about hearts. She should have gone to Doomsday instead of Elizabeth for help. But, Elizabeth was going to factor into this one way or another. Okay, we saw the child actor playing Elizabeth, and then after Lex gets out of jail, we have the adult Elizabeth. So Doomsday quitting and Lex shitting. Lex is going to continue being Lex Luthor, get his revenge on Lois, because Elizabeth figured out that he's in Smallville to watch Lois like a perv. And Clark, Superman, really isn't much help here. You'd have a heart attack trying to stop Lex anyway. Jordan told the secrets, but there was no real setup for that. John's kind of an idiot. The girlfriend's kind of an idiot. Natalie didn't do much. There was some nice dialogue with the kids, with the high schoolers at the beginning, but it didn't add much. And Amanda McCoy didn't do much either. So a lot of do nothing. Some stuff happens. I can't say I hated this episode. I really can't. But I don't love it. So let me just give the score. Great pending. I'm going to give that a 61. Yeah, not particularly thrilled, but not particularly angry about it. I'm just somewhere in between. And this could get better. It could get better. I mean, it's going to have to get better. So Elizabeth's out of his life. What can Lex do? I guess I would have expected, like, I was hoping for a scene where she gets on an airplane, right? And Lex just has her blown up and shit. Like, if I can't have you, nobody can. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. But anyway. More stuff to look forward to. Lex being more of an asshole, but I think he's wearing out. I think Michael Cudlitz is wearing out the asshole title a bit here. I think he's just wearing out his welcome. He was cool the last 2 episodes of season 3. And now we're just finding out, yeah, can you go home, Lex, now? You've worn out the welcome. See you next week.